That's right.
What was the question?
Grace. Grace. Oh, we said figure he was expecting grace. Grace. Grace.
And grace, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's all I need is, you know, it's the way you depend on how you want to live your life in prison. And you can live your way, you can live your life in prison as well, you know, as hated or respected. You know, you got few that's love, but you want your respect, and your dignity is all you got. And that's what a lot of people fight for on here. So, you know, it's just something that grown men basically want. Dignity, respect, grace, and that's what a lot of us really, really fight for in prison.
You can't allow where you are to dictate, you know, your dignity. I mean, you want to keep that integrity. I like to use the word integrity. Keep that integrity no matter where you are or what you're going through. Because we all make mistakes and bad decisions and all that type of stuff. But as far as the respect game goes, if you don't gain that, you're going to get ran over. You know, I mean, you're going to get used up. So that respect is really big in this environment. And grace to all the believers. It takes a little grace to make it in this place 10, 15, 20, 30 years. You know, sometimes it ain't just you or your dignity or your respect. Sometimes it's a little grace. Someone else praying and looking out for you to make it through the situations.
That's a good answer. And for me, dignity, it's all about standing on something. And standing on things like righteousness, you know, to make it in a place like this. As far as grace, you know, I'm one of the believers that grace comes up under, you know, God's love. And that's what grace is all about, being forgiven, you know, to make it through this place and walk around with love. But you know, love overpowers and hates anything. So that's the two things that come in, and everybody knows what respect is, you know, give respect and demand respect at the same time. And you'll be all right if you keep those principles in your life.
Strength.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, my wife is here.
Family members in the audience. Right there. The question was, for those of you who didn't hear us, what is sort of the goal of this film? What do you hope to achieve with it?
So one of the key themes that we see in the film is this exploration around restorative justice and the question of second chances. So, you know, for me, a core question for all of us right now, I think, is whether we want, as a people or as a society, to move towards a path of care and compassion, or to continue sort of down this path of punishment and retribution and this sort of eye for an eye mentality. And I think there are people who know much more than I do about these patterns of the cycle of violence and mass incarceration in our country, but certainly these are key contributors to that. And so we're hoping to have lots of conversations around the film around that, and considering that maybe there's a better way that we could be doing things.
Yeah, for me, you know, I like to tend to focus on the things that I can control. And in some ways, the experience of working on the film was that, and just the opportunity to create something positive, something that was done through trust, something that was done with all the things the brothers described, doing that on the inside in a space where that's rare in some ways, that alone was enough for me, that we created a partnership with folks that not many want to partner with, and we created an example of what they might have been, but what they also might be able to become, because many are getting out. So if we don't build examples of constructive partnership, of good citizenship on the inside, how can we expect it when they're on the outside? So regardless of the film, just the opportunity to create that partnership was what I was hoping to achieve, and to exchange with these men in a positive way.
In your next narrative feature, will you actively seek to get ex-cons as part of the crew and also part of the actors?
For your next film, will you be looking to sort of, follow the similar vein? Would you be looking at, inmates for roles?
Well, we just finished this one like 50 hours ago. And the documentary we finished like 72 hours ago. So, I don't know. I think I do hope that the success, the ability to have finished this film successfully, will encourage more people to do work like this in prison.
But I meant like outside of that, like if you were doing a feature not dealing with prison, would you still hire ex-cons and things like that? Would you advocate for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. For hiring, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
You, sir?
It's also important to recognize, although with your film, you can extrapolate out a whole lot of documentary when he gets out and when he get a job. I think it's very important to be cognizant of the fact that there are a lot of people convicted of significantly lesser crimes, misdemeanors that are, they're dealing maybe even a year probation. They're going to have difficulty getting financial aid, difficulty getting into colleges, getting certain jobs. And what we really need criminal reform at the state level in every state to allow people to respond to that lesson. And I think you have to be aware of that. I see it a lot.
I want to respond to that in a way that what you said is very plausible. But there are people called credible messengers, and the most viable credible messages, the one that really have the credibility to be that, are people who were incarcerated and now they're not incarcerated, and they smoothly reintegrated back into society. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that people can go in, and they'll go in at a considerable age, like 20, 21, and they're coming out in their 60s. And you look at individuals in their 60s coming home, and you have to ask that question, like, what are you going to do in your 60s? You going to do construction work? No, there has to be some kind of other transferable skill that you have to do. What I like to commend both Madeline and Jeff about this film is that they showed all those components, not just a regular prison film with the violence stuff that goes on in prison, but they showed a restorative justice component. They also showed a reentry component, and they also showed a transferable skill component. Here's a guy who worked in auto body, came home, and now he's able to do that same thing, that transferable skill. I think that what allows a person to re-enter society in a way where I can make my own money, where I can pay my own rent, buy my own food, and take care of myself. That's the important component. And becoming a credible message is that I can talk to other people about incarceration, because criminal justice operates on 3 fronts: the preventative, the intermediary, and the back. The front end is that we don't want people to go to prison, right? And that's where you work on those things, trying to get things not to go to prison. The second part is the intermediary part, the people that are in prison. Like, what do you want to do to have them come back out not the same condition that they came in? And the back end is to make sure that they get smooth reintegration. We're not going to talk about rehabilitation, because that only means to rehabilitate what you already did. Meaning you're going to return back to those same old ideas of reality, but we want to habilitate you into something new. It's like a new life. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you would agree that having a set of skills is significantly different than having somebody that will give you a job, right? So you can get those skills. Obviously, he was talented, he could do those, but now who's going to give him a job, right?
Oh,
You're going to do background searches on the internet, so you got to get plugged into the right organization.
there's people right now, there's a whole wealth of service providers that are there that are able to give you that type of inspiration, kind of give you that type of opportunity. They're banned in the box right now. Legal Aid Society is also helping people with background checks. If you are gang affiliated, they're helping to sponge that off your record. They're doing a lot in the way of that. You'd be surprised how many people who actually reinvented themselves, really buckled down and ameliorated themselves once they was incarcerated to come out here and actually have skills. And I usually don't use my incarceration as a preamble to introduce myself, but because you asked this question, I'll do that, right? I'm a person that served 32 years in prison, and right now I am this restorative justice consultant for Tribeeca Film Institute. I'm also a credible messenger for the Osborne Association, and also do things on my own as well. So it depends on what you do on the side, and maybe what you do on the side.
Yes?
Hi, I think Mr. Jeffrey, so we all live in, no, no, we all live in kind of self-imposed prisons. You all do an amazing job. I'm curious what you pulled out of your self-imposed
The question's about sort of we all live in self-imposed prisons, and Jeffrey, how did you find that within yourself to bring out?
With their help, we had experts on set every day. And we worked together. And they corrected me when it was needed. But I think, and they guided me, and I guided them. But I think the one thing, if I can point to one thing that impacted me and kind of affected the way I tried to undertake the role, was a sense of trauma on the inside. Sure, these are men who have committed serious crimes, have delivered trauma, but there's a palpable sense of their trauma on the inside of the place, and there's a really profoundly deep reservoir of emotional life built around that you can sense. And I tried to empathize with that, try to draw on my own, and see if I could expand it to that level. But the thing that I was most impacted me was an almost universal trauma that was visited upon many of these men at a very early age as one of the drivers that led them toward the path that wound up in a situation of incarceration. And I'd taken that for granted.
You in the back with the facial hair. Oh, not facial hair. Yeah, question for the gentleman in Pendleton. Just sort of like how does friendship sort of play a role within the community there?
That depends, because it's friendship is a strong word to use. You mainly have associates, but you do have friends that you can actually stay are friends, but a lot of guys in here, they use everything to their advantage, living in prison. Been knowing him for a long time, and I look at him as a friend. Because I know he ain't wrong. I know he ain't gonna lie about people. And we know the same way about me. And I want him for a long time too. And I feel the same about him. And I feel like that about everybody. Because as a use your weakness against you. Like, you know, they know your family's sick, or they know you got a weakness about your girl or something, they'll use it against you. They'll do what they can, you know what I'm saying, to manipulate any type of situation that could be beneficial to them. That can come from just getting $10 in commissary, or your food out the kitchen or something. It can be anything, and it does that. It's not much of a lot of friend relationships. It's a lot of people you deal with, people you don't, and you just keep it moving.
Yeah, for me, my friends, the people I consider friends, are the ones that tell me when I'm doing wrong. No matter how profitable it may be, no matter how honorable it may be, they're the ones that come to me one-on-one and give me some correction. So my friends care about me, in other words. So if you come to me and you try to give me some correction or some guidance, then I consider you a friend. Everyone else, like you said, has had those alternative motives for whatever reason, but only my friends really care about me and get back to my families.
Yeah, I figure that's a good question. It's ironic that you all asked that question, because I actually facilitate, I'm a teacher here, and I was talking about the same question today in my communication class that I facilitate. And I was telling the guys in my class that, you know, it's only been so many people that I can trust or call a friend since I've been incarcerated, which is this make my 15th year. And there's only so many people that you can empathize with or even sympathize with to get your point across, where people can understand you and take you serious in this place. Because as my man said, you know, people play on your weaknesses when you being kind of softened what people say around here. You know, everybody wants you to be masculine, so it's not too kind to take friendships too serious around here until you feel people out and know that people are very much sincere about you.
Good job, Elon.
Thank you guys.
Bye, bye. I need to start drinking. What's up, everybody?
Good game.